Welcome to another video by Drain Assessment and Management. We appreciate you all and thank you for watching again. This is just a simple clogged tub drain. Understandably, it's nothing new. All of our services revolve around clearing drains for the most part. We don't do any plumbing, rearrangement of drains of any sort. We do appreciate those who follow, like, and subscribe, and those who just watch. As you can see, one of our service technicians is just putting the snake into the drain. That is the overflow. It's one of the best methods we have noticed because it just drops right down towards the trap. Gives you an opportunity to hit the trap the right way and bend it right through. You would also notice that we didn't have any type of tool equipped to the tip of it. We've also noticed that having those tools, they may be nice for certain situations, but sometimes they get into a lot more trouble than what we like, especially because we deal with all sorts of different types of pipes, from ranging from PVC to cast iron. It's really not a good idea to use something that's so aggressive. It's nice sometimes, again, like I said, so those who do use those tips, enjoy. But we prefer just to bend the cable at the tip and to send it through. It usually helps get through the trap as well with a bit tipped on the end of the cable. As you can see, there's a little struggle with this. We assume that the technician was hitting the clog because as soon as he pushes through that, you can see that the water starts to go down. So that means that there was a clog that was pretty close to the exit of the drain. Well, I should say entrance. The technician is going to push the snake all the way through the stack. We've noticed that that is the best thing to do in these situations, to move the debris closer to an open area in the line. And because it's going into a 3.5 inch stack, it's a lot better. Now, as the water continues to drop, you'll notice the technician is starting to pull back, which means they most likely hit the stack. And they're going to go ahead and pull their snake back up, because about this time, they should be done. You're going to probably notice that the barrel is still spinning. Yes, we do recommend continuously spinning the barrel in specific situations. And most of our technicians are going to go ahead and look at your line to determine what your line is made of, just to make sure that the situation is the perfect one. If you're in cast iron, depending on what it looks like from the outside, you could have potential problems on the inside. But that's not always the case. The one thing we've noticed about cast iron is you can't really determine from the outside whether or not it's going to be perfect on the inside. Sometimes you can, especially if there's holes in it, or if it's very thin and you can feel it, or it depresses easily. But if it doesn't depress, and again, we do not recommend touching anything that looks like it could depress if it's cast iron, because it causes an issue for the owners. However, if we tell the owner and the owner wants us to go ahead for it, we will, but that's going to be something they have to sign off on. We don't like to damage property if we don't have to. Especially in this situation, we don't have to damage any property. Everything went smoothly. As you can see, there's a ball of debris that comes off the tip of the snake. Our technicians do clean off the tips of their snakes so that way they don't trek debris through the house. Because sometimes the snake will hold on to something and it may be loose, but it may not look like it's loose, and it'll hang off just like it did. And this is another method we do, is just a water test. There's smaller debris going down the drain. This is a good way to see whether or not this drain is going to back up easily. There are bigger chunks of debris to the left. But again, I don't believe that there's going to be too much of an issue in this situation. And we do not recommend leaving dropped clogs back into the drain. It's just not a good idea. For him to go out and catch that like that was a good idea. To be fair and honest, I don't recommend using those orange tip snakes for much else besides for clearing hair out of the surface level of the drain, so nothing past the trap. I don't recommend using those at all. If you want to get a hand snake, feel free, but get one with a power tool attachment, or a drill attachment, I should say. And the reason that is because it'll do a little bit of a better job. It makes it a little easier if you can just lay on the trigger and have the snake feed itself through. Sometimes that's what's best. And you also have to be careful with those things too, because they are pretty flimsy. If you do get caught and you call somebody else out, such as ourselves or anyone else, to help you fix the situation, in some situations, if it's bad enough, it's just a replacement of the pipe. And that's a big issue. So definitely be careful when using those hand snakes. You don't want to get yourself into unneeded trouble. The technician did walk away while keeping the water running because this is considered a water test. That technician just went downstairs to check whether or not that's leaking in any place on the pipe. For what we were told, this is connected into a cast iron stack from a PVC line with a Fernco, which is completely fine. And since it's an approved connection, we don't really do anything about it. We just make sure that it's not leaking, make sure it's not gonna break or been broken the seal or nothing like that. We don't touch it, we just examine it. If there does need to be a touch to it, we do let people know. Just in case it just needs to be tightened, might as well just tighten it and call it good. No need to get a plumber in to replace an entire line or something like that if all you need to do is tighten. And again, this is pretty much a end of the video. So you guys got to remember, when you're doing your thing, make sure you stay dry and be safe. Have a great one.